Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the Trading Floor with your humble hosts, Angie Barbosa, Brad Reed, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. How you guys doing? Had some good conversations today. That is absolutely correct. It is indeed December 22nd. Everything is around the corner. Let's just hop over to a really cool website. I've heard of it before. It's called reallifetraining.com. It's kind of taken over the internet by storm. I'm going to go to the live trading room, and I'm just going to remind you guys of the holiday schedule. We're going to be off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for Christmas Eve, day of Christmas, and the day after. And we're going to be off 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd. Mostly because the markets are closed and or end early on these days. And I want to give you guys a time, a break to be with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and so on and so forth. Now, that being said, I am going to be talking to an attorney today in regards to exactly how much and what I can do and what type of emails I can send to you guys over this time period. So just know this. If you need anything, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here, but my and our real-life trading communication capabilities might be vastly, constrained for a time period potentially, maybe. So really not sure, but I just want to kind of give you guys that update. If anything changes, I will definitely be posting something on this calendar, kind of let you guys know what's what, if you will. So that's kind of the overall calendar time period. So we have today, which is Monday, Marvelous Monday, but case in point, mostly Merchant Monday. So we're going to look at a lot of merchants, a lot of retail stocks today. And we're also going to, tomorrow be Tech Giant Tuesday, big day tomorrow, and then, off for those 3 days. So everything will be sweet. All right, Peg, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We'll see how this works out. I don't know exactly, but we'll find it out. Let's go look at the broad market, shall we? The ETF, the DIA. Ladies and gentlemen, let me pull up this really quick as well. Yahoo Finance. I just want to kind of visually let you guys see it, but the DIA is up nicely, 0.67%. And I want to make sure that I stress to you how bullish that gap is today. Can you guys give me on a 1 to 10 scale? 10 being Jeremy is about to get out his Matador costume, run down the city streets of Nashville screaming this is a bullish market. 1 being he is a grizzly bear for Halloween, for Thanksgiving. He's wearing his grizzly bear outfit every day of the week. How bullish or bearish am I based on that candle on a 1 to 10 scale? Let me zoom in just a little bit more just in case you really want to get an idea. What do you guys think? Brian, you cracked me up, man. Cracking me up. CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival, the band that we were playing. Getting some good numbers. Brian Bode's giving me a 10. Victor Gonzalez giving me an 8. Brian Reed's giving me an 8.9461. I like that one. Steven Jackson's giving me an 8.5. Munashio's giving me a 9. Peg's giving me a 10. Fascinating. Actually, I want to give another frequent trader point to Monash for getting the closest. I was going to rank this, and I am ranking this officially as a 9.367. This is a very bullish gap. The only reason it's not a 10 is because it didn't take out the high. If it took out the high, I would be full on 10, but that's a very bullish gap, in my personal opinion. Prior candle was black. We had a high wave candle. I mentioned that this is a bullish retest gap. If we get a small black candle that acts as a retest Friday, then we could buy off of that. Retest might only be a day or so. I don't know how you guys come up with this exactness recently, but you guys have been insanely good with your analysis. Insanely good. So in my personal opinion, I would say that today is a day where you should either be in or consider getting in and placing your stops. I like the gap. I know it's not a lot of volume. I know the markets are going to be closed. I think we could get a thrust, and I will stand by this pretty strongly, Pretty decent thrust, maybe until the end of the year. And then on January, we might have a little bit of a retracement. Go ahead and take a screenshot. There's a good chance that that's exactly what could take place. And is this going to be the absolute top of the market? Some think so. I don't know if I'm going to get on board with that yet, but I would say in this scenario, if we get one really good bullish thrust higher, and it lasts all of January and into February, so we keep doing this. We do something like this. I think wherever we do begin to pause, that's a good chance that we won't move higher than that for at least a year or so, because the market does need a retracement. Now, granted, we could still just keep getting what we're getting. And what I mean by that is, if you hop over to Facebook, I actually agree with this guy. Now, I usually am not the biggest fan of this guy, and unfortunately, I don't know his name. Some of his stuff's good, some of his stuff's not so good, some of the stuff I agree with, some of the stuff I don't agree with. But regardless, I like what he's got going on most of the time. I posted this on the Real Life Trading Facebook page, and it's this video right here, the 10% market correction that you never noticed. And pretty much what the gentleman was saying is that we have corrected the market, which we have. We just never have gotten that fully functional, giant, quote-unquote, 10 to 30% in one move that people have been wanting / expecting. So we've been getting very short retracement bubbles, your pops. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So we've gotten a few small ones. We haven't gotten any big one, which, yes, at some point, technically has to happen. But we could really get into a much more parabolic state before it does. So that being the case, ladies and gentlemen, I'm bullish on the DIA, and I think this would be a pretty acceptable time to maybe do some fib targets. And I think I'm going to go off of a fib. I'm going to base it off of this one just to see how it looks. Okay, I might drop it a little bit then. Okay, let's see, maybe this. I think that might be it. .5 exactly retracement of this wave. I don't think it's the very bottom. Could be, but 185.64. I think it's a pretty decent target for us to come into. Maybe before 2015. Just my thought. Let's go look at the SPY really quickly. SPY, there's my intraday trigger, 207.58. If we start breaching 207.58, I'm also bullish on the SPY. And again, today's an inside day candle. If we break that high tomorrow, I would have indication to even be a little bit more bullish than I am currently. Could I be wrong? Could everything just fall out of bed? Go to zero? I don't think it's going to go to zero. But yeah, absolutely. The market could retrace. It could make a little bit of a thrust higher, and it could go lower. All indicators, quote unquote, volume, candles, sentiment, seasonality is pointing to a higher market. And with that being the case, I mean, that's some very impressive volume. You can't really argue right there for the bulls. So the fact that we have an inside day candle today, I kind of love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. So there we go. I'll look at the IWM and then the QQQs. IWM looking nice again. Higher highs, higher lows. Some white candles. Looks like we're coming into the 120.57 resistance zone. And again, guys, if that resistance zone breaks on the IWM, I would be indeed more bullish than bearish. I would. So IWM, nothing's really changing. We're making higher highs and higher lows barely. Short term, long term, we're still in a big distribution phase. And if that breaks out, I mean, I really think that could give a propulsion to the overall market in general. And the QQQs, phenomenal buying location that we bought. If you got a chance to buy off that support. We talked about this being a location to buy off of. We did retrace. We did get a one white soldier. We are retesting right now. And I think I could also do maybe a fib target on the Qs. It's going to be a very similar range. Very similar. And I will just, for continuity purposes, absolutely agree with the fact that this could be, a false bullish breakout, and a lot of people will buy right there. But that's kind of the place that I'm going to be looking to sell a little bit. If we get that strong bullish breakout at the all-time high, I'm going to start locking in some profits because, yeah, absolutely. We could, Come tomorrow, one candle can change everything. But that's why we have to mitigate our risk. That's the best that we can do. Orkin, yes, this is an ETF that tracks the NASDAQ. Yep, QQQs. Tracks the NASDAQ pretty closely. I don't like the fib extension as much as I do on the DIA. Let me drop this in a bit. It might be the full wave of the Qs. It looks like it is. So the Qs, yeah, I think 111.55, still a very decent target. It really is. And again, theoretically, this is also possible. Boom, retrace. This is a bullish retest gap, a bounce, and then we can go higher. If that's the case, we'll get trailed out for a little bit of profit up here, and then we'll look to go long again on that gap retest. So let's go look at a few of the big guys. We'll look at them a little bit more tomorrow. But Apple has triggered me in bullish. Today we're forming a new white soldier. 112.75. Stop is 110 and some change. Ultimate target about 118, where I'll probably will be in my position a little bit longer and just start implementing the collar strategy. But we are above on the daily chart all the exponential moving averages. We have a nice gap. The hourly looks nice. The hourly candle looks pretty on Apple. There's the hourly candle from this morning. Nice little gap up into the 10 exponential moving average again. So my thought process is, yeah, I'm a little bit more bullish than bearish overall. Manesh, I did look at the SPY. I'll be happy to hop over there to you again. So here's the SPY. 207.58 is bullish entry. If we move above there, target that will probably reach before 2015 is my guess, is 214.98. So on the daily chart on the SPY, again, really, really just cute inside candle. And I think we get a little bit of a thrust into the end of the new year. So Alibaba is also one that I'm keeping a very close eye on. Right now, it is a kind of a decently nice black bearish candle, but the volume is declining all 3 days. I don't think this is going to happen, but if this does happen, I'm insanely bullish on Alibaba. If tomorrow we open at 111.65. What's the chance of that happening? Probably about 3.5%. But I like the volume decline. I like this, it's kind of forming a stair-step pattern. I know that there's a lot of analysts out there who went bullish at approximately 108, which I was one of them, with a close above those wicks. So now we're kind of retesting the breakout. And again, if we get above 1.56, I will be more bullish than bearish. If you want to close above that price, I could also see that as well. Brian said, this low volume because traders are taking the whole week off. Yeah, that's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. Facebook is going bongos right now. It is going nuts. Brian Bodie made some good profits on Facebook, so I'm really, really proud of you, Brian. You've been hanging on Facebook for a while. I think with an average cost basis of 70 or so. Great job, man. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm confirmed bullish on Facebook at the moment. We're making higher highs, higher lows. I think this is the breakout. I think this is a wave 1 potentially. Maybe a wave 3. This could be a 1, 2, 3. But regardless, I want a filling of the gap, done. Now I want to bounce off the EMAs. That's what I want. Now I want some kind of pullback and some type of bounce. Pin it, stair step, flag, new white soldier, bullish gap on the hourly, whatever it is. I like it. Looks pretty. Retest and then a bounce. I think it looks nice. Yelp. Yelp, a little bit of a black candle today. We had a trigger, an end of day trigger, which did trigger on Friday. But as mentioned, and I thought it was in here somewhere. I guess I'll go ahead and put it in. Could be a 2 to 3 month trade. So if you're in Yelp, don't stress about its time, right? It's going to take time. Place your stop. You have a little bit of a double bottom at support. Risk your 1R. Your first target is approximately 66.47, and then next target potentially 75 and some change. So, on Yelp, you're buying low and you're selling high. We've bounced before down in this area. Could we do it again? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. George Simples. Are you here, George? Greg Peters is here. Where's Big G? No, he's probably out hunting. Well, if you do watch this video, George, he was had a good position in Facebook. I think he had a target of 79. So, George, great job, man. Great trade overall on Yelp. All right, so the rest of the stocks, the rest of the big tech stocks, well, no, let's go look at GoPro, and then I'll move on. The rest of the techs we're going to look at a little bit more tomorrow. So GoPro has a nice candle, nice white candle. Honestly, this is a beautiful, beautiful candle. Because for those of you who are not in or want to get in or considering getting in on GoPro, I would love another retest and a failure, maybe of the 20 exponential or maybe even the 10 again. But I'm interested to see how that works, and I got the bear call spread on GoPro, which expires this week, and hopefully it'll just die and go to option heaven. So we shall see. I'll look at the rest of the texts kind of tomorrow, throughout the day, and of course in the last hour. Let's go look at a few of the retails for Merchant Monday. Macy's is a fascinating little gap today because it gapped down strongly Friday, but really into some good support. Then today it's gapped up. You're going to notice on the hourly, it's kind of all over the place. It's kind of all over the place on the hourly. I mean, there's really a lot going on this particular chart. But on Macy's, if we moved above 63.52, I would be more bullish than bearish. And let me just tell you why. The sentiment on the daily chart, I'll kind of get rid of the exponential moving averages. In my opinion, the sentiment is, okay, there were some traders that were trapped, and so that candle kind of shook out, Friday's candle shook out the weak bullish traders. And then on today's candle, a lot of the stronger bulls are being rewarded, and the bears are getting punished a little bit. Because, again, it gapped up, and it did almost open perfectly above the open of Friday's candle. So a lot of the shorts who went bearish on Friday are probably getting a little trapped today as well. So Macy's, this is a breakout level above 63. We've broken out a second time, and this would be kind of a swing trade for me, and I would believe that my stop would be placed about 61.90, which would give, and it is pretty tight if you want a longer trade and you want to be in Macy's a little bit longer, a $60 stop could suffice as well. If you want to be in that trade, much longer term. But that's really not that bad. Bullish entry 63.52, stop 61.90, and if today's candle closes the way it is today, it will be a new white soldier. So if it continues higher tomorrow, that would trigger it anyway, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Orkin, what do you think? How long of a trade would you anticipate that trade could take? Or be in? Orkin says 1 month. All right. If you plan on being in that trade, give yourself about a month. Usually for the majority of good long trades, they can take 2 to 3 months. That's kind of your expectation sometimes. But 1 month, yeah, I could see that. It's not. I mean, I wouldn't try to be in this trade 2 days. I would try to be in this trade. Give it some time. Let it make some moves. Let it do something. JCPenney. Still hanging out. We got that evening star reversal. If we close below 632, we've done that already once before, and hasn't really done much. There is some support on JCPenney, but there's not much support down here. 524 is really kind of about it. This is a retest gap. We have retested. We are kind of retesting again. The exponential moving averages on JCPenney on a daily chart, we're below them, and we're failing the 20. If we go to a weekly chart on JCPenney, weekly chart, we're below the exponential moving averages on a weekly. So we came into the 50. This is where a lot of people bought, including yours truly, and this is where I sold. Bought and sold. Beautiful risk reward, great risk mitigation. That's the best you can hope for in trading, is to mitigate your risk. So it's good that I got a 10 rather than hoping and wishing at 632 that it bounces. That's really not where we're at right now. So on JCPenney, we failed the 50, but we've continued back down. This almost looks like an ugly rest after battle on a weekly chart. this kind of looks like a stair-step pattern. So my thought process would be on JCPenney, if we start closing below 632, I'd be more bearish than bullish. Probably stop could go kind of in that gap, 669. And then bearish entry if we close below 626 on JCPenney. A little more bearish than bullish on that particular trade. Target will be about 524. About 524. Let's go look at Best Buy. What's Best Buy doing? Best Buy, cool. So on Best Buy, there were a few traders. I don't remember them actually. And I think Yoav was one of them. Tatianas was another. I think Chris Tom was interested in Best Buy. But really good bullish engulfing candle. Here's your new white soldier. Here's your kind of double bottom-ish type of pattern. And I didn't really have any directional trades specifically on Best Buy, but we did consider a put sale and or bull pit spread. So I was bullish. I mentioned I was bullish. I mentioned that I liked being bullish on Best Buy. But the 35 price range was a very, very good old resistance, new support. I just wanted to be more non-directionally bullish. So again, put sale or bull put spread. Right now, it is at a resistance for sure on Best Buy. So we're here. This is a retest gap, which we kind of did today. So if you can expect a little bit of a pause here and a breakout, if we pause / rest with a continuation pattern and make a higher high, higher low, I would be more bullish than bearish. I think that's pretty much about it on Best Buy. Nice retest gap, nice candle a few days ago, good support level. There was some decent premium in there to sell. Wasn't stupendous, wasn't outrageously good either. Wasn't outrageously bad. It was good. It was good. Angie, I'm gonna go get my phone charger really, really quick. My phone's about to die. What's your thoughts on Best Buy, kind of like as a company, in your opinion?
Oh, wow, a deeper question. I like Best Buy. See, the last time I was in there, I was buying a new computer for work purposes, and it was a remote purchase situation, and it could have been very complicated, but customer service on the floor and behind the desk were absolutely amazing and worked out a solution that gave me everything I needed that day really quickly. So
Really? Oh, cool.
I appreciated their customer service, and I was working with I'd never bought a Mac before, and I needed a monitor that worked with it, and I needed adapters and all sorts of interesting things. and all I had to do was lay it out there for them and tell them exactly what I needed, and I didn't know what I needed, but they did. So
Cool. Good. Well, that's good.
I knew what I wanted the end result to be, and I said, this is what I want my end result, and they said, this is what you need, and just like they said, it all works perfectly.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I like good customer service stories for sure. I wanted to share this with you guys because there's a chance, small chance, but there's a chance that tomorrow, and when I say chance, it's semi-large. Tomorrow there's a chance I'm gonna be, I don't know what the right word is, but I'm gonna be on this show. It's a morning show I was telling you guys about earlier. Unfortunately, I really don't have the capability right now of emailing everyone and telling them about this, but I'll kind of be posting on social media. Featured, yes, featured. Here's the link to the thing. It is free. Obviously, you have to give them their email address. I'm not saying you guys have to do this, but they asked me to be on the show, and I said I'll be on the show. And we're probably going to talk about the retail sector, because it kind of correlates a little bit with what we're talking about today. I have an interesting opinion, 5-6 years on the road, on a lot of the quote-unquote big box stores. I think Amazon and Alibaba and eBay are really making a very incredible and insightful push for less inventory. But I think it's kind of cool. So here's the the list, and I liked what Angie said. Angie gave me a good compliment, so that made me smile. But there was there's the pictures, and so that's what I'm going to be on tomorrow. It's at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. It's probably going to last like 15 minutes, and yeah, it's a cool show. I mean, Binganza, they definitely do work. They like interviewing, and so I'm going to do my best to, hook up with some of these people and get a few other people on the show. I don't see a lot of ladies. I want the ladies to be represented a lot more in trading. So I think I'm going to go from there and, go about that way. Brian said, look at Goober. That was actually my intention. That's purely my intention. I didn't want to do the suit and tie.
I know that's exactly what I said, Karen. When Jeremy directed me to that page and I took a look, I went, wow, they all look so boring and blah, blah, blah. And there's Jeremy. He looks like he's having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is I can wear a suit. Chris Tom now knows. Right, Chris? I can wear a suit. I can rock the suit. When you're trading, you're a real life trader. Instead of being on stage and talking and selling something, I trade. So I don't really trade from a suit. I'm wearing a nice polo right now, but hey, Peg, that's a big notch in my belt. But regardless, that's the case. Is the main thing is I think this is cool. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see how I like it, and the link is in the chat pane. There you guys go. A goober. It is a great word. Yeah, I've met Brian. So Brian, I've given him full range to call me whatever he wants. So me and Brian are bros. It doesn't. So yeah. Number one, I don't get offended by anyone ever anyway. Number two, I want to play that song. I'm sexy and I know it, but I think you guys know the song. There you go. There you go. So, in reference to that, I was going to talk a little bit about potentially the retail sector. Radio Shack, Office Depot, Office Max. I know Office Depot and Office Max, they've kind of conjoined and become one company, but I think that there's going to be a lot of struggles for a lot of those companies. So it'll be interesting to see how indeed that does play out. But realistically, Best Buy is one of the stronger ones. I mean, Best Buy, it was all over the news 5 years ago, saying that it was going to go into bankruptcy, and the same kind of talk that it was unsustainable and yada yada yada, and they were firing the CEO, and here was that talk down there. That's when all that began happening, and now it's rebounded very, very nicely, and it looks good. Looks good. Walmart is still just the king. Did you guys know if Walmart was a company, or I'm sorry, if Walmart was a country, it would be the 24th richest country in the world? Is that an insane statistic or what? Wow, this is fascinating. Walmart looks gorgeous. I liked this Friday. I loved the retest yesterday. We didn't get a chance to buy the bounce. We had some put sales. Here's the put sales on Best Buy, or not Best Buy, Walmart. But you have a little bit of a double bottom. You had a retest gap. There's the retest. Here's the close with the neckline. Today, there's a new white soldier making higher high and a higher low. So if you're not in on Walmart, I would think, in my opinion, if we start going higher, 86.35 and some change, I would be more bullish than bearish. And placing the stop at approximately 84.31, I could see what's going on from there. Now, I think Walmart does overall need a little bit of an image makeover, but I don't think they care about that right now. They're not going to lose any money off of image for the next 10 years. Now, it might become, not as good as one of their quote-unquote competitors, quote-unquote image competitors is Target. Target's trying to have a really good image right now, that whole thing. But Target's been making some good moves on the stock board as well. And, this is a really, really good flag pattern at the moment on Target. Flag pattern. If we make a higher high, higher low, trend is bullish. And, Target, people love Target. They had the whole data corruption thing, not too long ago. A lot of information got stolen, and some of you here were personally affected by that. And it was more of a hassle than anything else. I don't think it was a financially crippling move. that a lot of the information got taken. It was just more of a data breach / security protocol that had the issue there. But Target's rebounded very nicely from $55, a lot quicker than I thought they would. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that I thought they're going to stay down there a little bit longer. But, ladies and gentlemen, you're at the breakout level. You're at the all-time high, and you had a really good congestion. You had a breakout. You had the retest. You had the pull into the exponential moving averages. Here's your new white soldier. This is a beautiful, beautiful flag pattern. Simple fact is, if we move higher tomorrow, we make a higher high and a higher low, go with the trend. Stop could be placed below the 20 exponential, so 71.86. And if you're really feeling, like a tight stop, 73.25 potentially. So we'll see. Zane says, I was hoping Target would pull a Netflix so I could load up. In what sense, Zane? Give me more info. Speaking of Target, this is some social media news for you guys. Have you guys heard of this hashtag Alex from Target? Have you guys heard of this? Pex is the cute kid. Yeah. Listen to this, guys. Let me just pull this up. All I want to say, this guy is great stuff. What's that, Ange?
I just said, what's this all about?
Here's Alex from Target. This is the most interesting thing I've ever seen. So this is the picture right here that some 15-year-old girl posted on Twitter. I don't know, a month ago. And in 24 hours, he went from having 146 Twitter followers to 150,000. It went viral. Because all of the tween girls started sharing the picture, like, you can check out my bags anytime you want. And it became like a meme, and then a hashtag Alex from Target became a thing. And he actually went on the Ellen Show, all because of a picture that some girl took and posted online. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, kid's a good-looking dude. 16-year-old kid, works at Target, and is now a C-list celebrity. And I thought that was just so intriguing. And I really, really think that there's going to be, and I don't think, I'm positive that someone for their social media doctorate is probably going to do a dissertation or some type of write-up on how that transpired. I mean, it took 24 hours. 24 hours for him to become literally one of the biggest Twitter followers. I mean, it's just huge. I'm gonna pull him up on Twitter. Give me 1 second right now. I just want to see how many he has today. See if I can find him. Alex from... Is this it? I don't know if this is it or not. There's gonna be a lot of fakes on here. No, that's not it. Do you guys know what it is on Twitter? I'm sure I can find it somewhere. Target. Let's see if you guys know. No. It does look like him, but it's someone took his picture and posted it. They do this stuff all the time. Yeah, I can't find it. Anyway. Is this it? No, it's not it either. Oh well, doesn't matter. He has over like 300,000. I'm like, hey man, good for him. Good for him. So let me see if Johnny Guark's in the house. Because what I want to do now is, I'm like, hey dude, you have... Alright, he's not here. Someone needs to write this down. Andy, try to write this down for me. I want people like him to learn investing now. Because what I do not want to happen is... I mean, I've seen cases like this more times than I like to admit. Where you get anywhere between a 12 to an 18-year-old kid to get famous very, very quickly. They get some money. They get some people reaching out to them, sell this, buy this, yada, yada, yada. Then they blow their money. They get addicted to drugs and, they're never heard from again. So it would be phenomenal if Real Life Trading could reach out to him and be like, hey, man, I know that you're going to, get a lot of advice, financial advice, buying, selling. Here, hook up with these group of people for 1 month let's just teach you a little bit about investing so that if you can make some money from this, stash it away until you're 25, 30, so that you have some money from this rather than, flash and burn. So, Peg said you're going to reach out to him. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I'm just a small ant in this world, but we'll see. We'll see. Because that was one of the dreams, one of the missions of Real Life Trading as well. Kind of a sub-mission. I think I shared this with you guys during the big reveal. But Real Life Trading also wants to really, honestly, reach out to famous football players, musicians, people who make it big very, very quickly with a lot of money. People make it fast, so that we reach out to them, and even if it's a pro bono fund they invest in or something, get the word out there of, especially sports athletes who go from 18 in college and broke to 19 and a millionaire. I want you to keep your money around, because that 30 for 30 series really opened my eyes. 75%. I think I could average it up to about 50% of all athletes. I'm talking NFL, NBA, and MLB. 50% accumulatively are broke 3 years after retirement. And I think that's insane to me. So, yeah, that's the thing. I would love in some way down the line just to reach out and to help people, because I know that there's a lot of schemes out there, and there's a lot of bad investments, and there's a lot of quote unquote experts. But I think if I said, hey, I don't want to get paid, I'll donate all proceeds to a charity. I just want to protect you, rather than this guy who's quote unquote an expert who's going to charge you money. How about we do it for a year, you see how it works, and then if not, whatever. I don't know. That's down the line, but that's something I really, really want to make happen in the future. But it just kind of spurs from this talk, and that's Ashley brought the whole Alex thing from Target up yesterday. I was just so shocked that the technology that we have these days allows the far-reaching communication of all types of people. I think it's phenomenal. Higgins said, don't leave our boys in the NHL out. NHL actually wasn't featured that much, Higgins. I think for a few reasons. There are only, and I guess I'm just going off a limb here, 25, 30 Higgins multi-millionaire annual contracts in the NHL. Talking about annual contracts. So you're making 2 or 3, 4 million a year. I don't think there's many of those. There's definitely... Oh, there's way more? Just shows you... I don't know much about hockey. I will say that. But I can say... Well, no, not annual. I'm going to say like getting paid annually. I would say they don't make nearly as much as NFL, NBA, or MLB. That's for sure. But, yeah. I do agree. The NHL, they don't have it as bad. It's not as bad as a statistic. But it definitely could become one. And so, no, I don't plan on leaving them out either. I don't plan on leaving them out. It's just, unfortunately, hockey and soccer doesn't get as much love in the States as it should. Hugely, hugely competitive, very, very physically dominating sports. Truth be told. Guys, I'm a huge football fan, but I will say this right now. I would say Newsome statistic, 90% of people who play football would not cardiovascularly be able to keep up with soccer players. Now, tit for tat, you couldn't put a soccer player into a football field and they do well either. I get that. They're different sports. But just on a cardio standpoint, no, it's not even close. It's not even close. Anyway, that's what I want to do. Real life trading, we want to help people who get a lot of money quickly to protect themselves in the future. Stamp. I'm done. I'm done with my rant. Okay, I'm done. Ange. Let's go look at Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh, that's a cool pattern. Bed Bath & Beyond took a bath right here on their stock price. Look at that. Wow. Huge, huge drop down. I think I put the long-term moving average. This looks like a nice little move right there today. Good little breakout. Let's draw some lines on Bed Bath & Beyond. Okay, there we go. Let's see, right about there. That's an interesting argument, Dan. I would say that for sure. Which sport has the best cardio, other than obviously like marathon running? I mean, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind: soccer and rugby, almost without question. MMA, very valid argument. Very valid argument. I would say it depends on the person. Soccer is a very blanket. So you play soccer, you have good cardio, more or less. That's a pretty good blanket statement. MMA, I've been in MMA, I've done MMA, and I know many, many, many people who do not have good cardio. Even in the UFC, the heavyweights, 225 people that get gassed after 5 minutes. Bed Bath & Beyond. I like this, man. I mean, this looks good. Here's a breakout. It's a breakout of resistance. Prior candle is black. I mean, depending on how long-term you want to be in this trade, I think we could place 2 stops, either 70.86 or potentially 72.49. But realistically, if we start moving any higher, if we're not in today, 75.17, I can see that as being a bullish entry on the hourly chart. We had a really, really good gap on the hourly. Looks like on the hourly right now, we're kind of like a little pennant stair-step pattern-ish thing. So yeah, so if we start breaking above that, 75.07-ish. One stop could be 72.43. The tightest stop imaginable that I would place would be 73.60. And very loose stop about 70.86. That's Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's just check out our only real day trade of the day, CELG. And we're not going to get hosed by the trade. That's the good news. So you should be, at this point, I think it'd be okay to go ahead and take our stop. So it did make some good moves. Mentioned, here's the low of the day, which we traded to at 112.65. That's very, very close to 2R. Very, very close to 2R if you got a chance to take it. Either there or at that moment in time, you took your stop and made it at least so we can't lose on the trade after commissions. You want to take that trade other than Arthur? Cheryl Maw! Woo! Good for you. Good for you. I love that. Cool. So anyway, it trades to the low of the day. I mean, the low of the day on CELG either took some profits there, exited half, a quarter, or trailed your stop. That's exactly what Cheryl did. She said took out half at 112.61 and got stopped out on the other half. Got trailed out. Beautiful. Very nice, Cheryl. Very proud of you. Very, very proud of you. That was really our only one for the day. That was about it. Now it's a nice high wave candle. I think if we kind of close below here, some of these wicks, CELG could at least be a tad more bearish than bullish if we start closing below here. I would imagine if we take out the low of this candle with a close, we likely will pull back probably to the 100 simple moving average on CELG again. So that'd be really fascinating to kind of keep an eye out and see how that works out. It will be interesting. Ulette got back in BlackBerry, and then BlackBerry is at 1080 now, give or take. So some really nice candles, and yeah, I agree with Ulette. If you're in, it's bullish to neutral. That's the best that I got for BlackBerry. I mean, we're absolutely, without question, trading sideways, intermediately to primarily. Short term, though, huge, nice candles. There's some resistance about 1090 and some change. I think we could trade up here to 1181, and we'll see what happens. So 1181 would be, if I was in BlackBerry bullish, would be my next target. El Pollo Loco technically is a retail. They make food, the Crazy Chicken. Still waiting on a bounce down here, though, if that happens. Looks like we're about to roll over. Buy the bounce. Make a little bit of a lower low. So here's your pennant. It, again, appears that we could come into here. I'll say buy the bounce. I meant buy low. Buy low, sell high. I think it's the best we can do for Pollo Loco. El Pollo Loco! Zane wants to look at RDNT. Let's check it out. Radnet. I agree with you 100%. He says, swing, breakout, volume, bullish. Intraday volume, I agree. It's a little light. It's a tad light. I probably and personally won't take that trade. If I were, however, to take it, I would have waited for a close, which is pretty much right about now, 887. Stop would be approximately 829. This is one Joshua Taylor would probably like a lot. He likes these kind of stocks. And yeah, some of the targets, probably about 10. 10 will be interesting to see. Oh yeah, Steven Jackson wants to look at Kohl's, of course, absolutely. Steven, give me your trading plan on Kohl's. Are you already in it? I think I remember you saying that you were scouting or keeping an eye on this one. And that's a beautiful candle, honestly. So not yet. IHS. What is that? Waiting for a retest of the neckline. So a little bit of a retest. So there's gonna be some inverted head and shoulders. Gotcha. Templates, clones. So there's a lot. There's kind of a resistance zone. All right, get a wick, wick, gap to gap, wickety wickety woo. And today, this was a nice retest gap. Here's kind of the retest, and today we have a really nice candle. Prior candle was black, and we opened above the high of a prior day black candle. That's usually some pretty bearish sentiment overall on Kohl's. So at the moment, inverted. You talking about this, Steven? Is that what you're referring to? Or is it more of a daily, or what time frame? I might just be missing it. On the daily, gotcha. All right, where is this thing? Where is this? Okay, I see what you're saying. You're thinking something like this, right? You want to retest and you're ready to buy the bounce. Okay, I'm gonna put you in, brother. That sounds like a plan to me. Steven Jackson. Well, I'll just put you. Well, I'll wait. I'll put you in. You call it out. Real life trader Steven Jackson looking to go bullish after the retest of the 59.85-ish breakout. Publish idea. Potential breakout on Kohl's. Inverted head and shoulders on the daily. Kind of. Closing above resistance. Nice gap on the daily. Okay, long. Take that off. Boom that. Tags Steven Jackson. KSS, real life trading. There we go. Very, very nice. Very nice. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, let me just kind of make this statement as a blanket statement. If you do not get any of the recordings of the third hour, there's a chance that I might not be able to send them. I haven't figured that out yet. So bottom line, if you want the recording, email them. Email it to me if you can't or don't want to get it on Twitter. Or I'm sorry, on Twitter. YouTube. Because I'll be posting them on YouTube. But if you, for some reason, can't find it or don't have it or don't use YouTube or whatever, and you want the recordings, just email us and we'll be providing that to you. I'll find out more information soon, though. Find out more information soon. It's kind of interesting. It's interesting. Fascinating. That's what it is. That's all. That is all. All right, cool. Kohl's. What other good retail? Rite Aid? Ooh, Rite Aid. All right. What's up, Ford Schwartz? He said, just for today. No, for the next few days to weeks. I'll let you guys know more when I can, Ford. I'm just my hands are kind of tied at the moment. So I'm going to talk to Angie about it after the show. We're going to figure out some stuff. Yeah. So just FYI. In my opinion, with 10 minutes left, this is bullish confirmation on Rite Aid all day. Here's the retest. There's the close. Bullish confirmation candle. It is a retest gap. A little bit more of a retest would have been decent, but it did retest, right? Nice gap. Retest. Today's bullish candle, I like it a lot because it opened above the open of yesterday. So it opened and closed above the Friday black candle's close. Nothing special. It's a new white soldier. But the sentiment there, in my opinion, is more bullish than bearish. It's fascinating to me that it's above the high of that particular candle as well from way back here on July 25th. So if I were taking Rite Aid, I think that would be my entry right there. Stop 661. Entry kind of right about now, 715. Target 1 would be 8 and some change, and then realistically that high area. So this will be target 1. It's about a 1 to 2. And let me go on a weekly chart for another target. Is that the high, all-time high on Rite Aid? I think it is. What a phenomenal little bounce that was. Jeez. Man. Yeah, this is the all-time high. Okay. So that's target 1 at about 8 and some change, and then target... Oh, gosh. Oh, geez, what's happening? I think we can take this target and put it right about there, and we can get rid of this one. Okay, so 806 and 850. Really good volume. I mean, I'm more bullish than bearish. That's a shout. That does look nice. Okay. There's Rite Aid. Let's look at CVS. Then we'll look at Walgreens. Oh, wow. Wow. Some of these stocks. It's comical. It really is comical. I'm going to have to go all the way to a weekly chart to get a good range on this thing. Holy smokes. Look at CVS. Good night. Wow. Blows. I love it. I love the market. I love trading. I love you guys. Whoever is in CVS is one happy gentle lady or gentleman. Where would be a range on this thing? From here to here? It's pretty much either that or from here to here. Those are really the only good ranges. Man, when this thing pulls back, it's going to be so fast. Oh my gosh, it's already above the 618. I don't even know what to do. I do know what to do, but it's just mind-blowing. Wow. Wow. Okay. Enough of that. Enough, Jeremy. Get to the point. Targeto. I mean, that is not even almost a retracement. Actually, okay. With a few, just a few small changes. 97.19, I would absolutely take some profit off on CVS. Without question. I really, really would. fib target on CVS. All-time high. I don't really know what to put there, but fib extension, I guess, is the same thing I've been putting. Man, guys, that is just so bullish. I mean, that's the place to be taking some profit without question, you know. You're not going to be buying up there. This is not the place to buy CVS by any means. Just my opinion, though. Purely my opinion. What was the other one I was about to look at? Whole Foods? Whole Foods and Walgreens, and I think that'll wrap up today. Whole Foods. So I liked it again, non-directionally bullish. If you're in Whole Foods bullish, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I think the trend, in my opinion, is nicely so. Off the 20, we got a cute little, stair-step, flaggish, pennant-ish pattern thing going on. 50-28 would be a little bit of a target. If you're in bullish non-directionally with some put sales or bull put spreads, I think you're doing fine. And just kind of an update, Orkin and a few others are in Walgreens. 76.18 is a really good target. That's also the all-time high. And that's a very, very pretty gap. Very pretty gap that we got on Thursday. In my opinion, I think we could and should and likely will go a little bit higher on Walgreens. I don't think Tina's here right now, but Tina Rowley just smoked Walgreens. Just destroyed it. Very proud of you. I think Orkin's looking to mitigate your risk and follow his trading plan as well. Ladies and gentlemen, is there anything gapping between now and tomorrow morning that you guys want to look at? I can go find it for you if you want me to, but just let me know. With 4 minutes left, this is about the time that most prop firms will start saying, hey, what's going on, or kicking you out of positions. So on CELG, if you're taking a little bit of profit on it, you can probably wait 1 or 2 minutes, see if it breaks that low again. But if you do take some profit up, I mean, you're probably about up a half of an R, maybe an R if if you didn't exit out. I mean, you made profit. You did good on CELG. You did good, kid. You did good. That was our only day trade for the day. Anything gapping tomorrow that you guys want to talk about? Steven Steckler. Oh, yes. That is good to bring out. I mean, since it is gapping tomorrow, we might as well talk about it, right? Steven says, Walgreens earnings tomorrow. I'm expecting a bullish retest gap. Okay. If we open below 70, bearish, gap, and go. Newsom thinks it will gap up. By the way, I've been pretty much exactly 50-50 this earnings season. Shocker. You know what, Angie? Mark this down as a good idea. Next earnings season, I want to do one a day, and I really actually want to track my solar-powered crystal ball on earnings.
Got it.
I'll see how it does. That might be fun. Newsom thinks it will gap up. If it does, it could gap very far. And some selling pressure could come in. If it doesn't gap above 79, could be a nice bullish retest gap. That's really all I got on Walgreens. We'll see what happens. Orkin said, do you think it can gap up in one day to 76? Oh, yeah. Oh, heavens, yeah. It could open up tomorrow at 77.20. I really don't know. Yeah. It could easily gap up nice, man. Easily. So, hey, man, that might make you some profits. We'll see. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen, you guys want to talk about? Terry Littleton, anything on your radar? Justin said, your solar power crystal ball wouldn't work here in Chicago. Been crowdy lately. Good to know. Good to know. Twitter. There's our Twitter. I think Twitter's coming for the 50 exponential. Again, this could be a 2 to 3 month trade, so be cautious on Twitter. But it's just a good old buy low, sell high on Twitter. 37.42 is our bullish intraday entry, based entirely off this candlestick pattern right there. That's all we did on Twitter. So yeah, 50 exponential. Expect some of this choppiness to occur. and maybe that. That's kind of like best case scenario, I think, on Twitter. Again, 2 to 3 month trade. I'm more bullish than bearish, but if you're in bullish, it makes sense to me. Caterpillar did have a little bit of a gap up today. Nothing majestic, though. It's very, very close to our 92.50 end of day entry. The hourly chart actually looks pretty decent. I agree with Tommy Monet, who wasn't here today. I missed you. I miss you, Tommy, if you're watching the recording. I do like the hourly. I mean, the fact that we gapped above all of this little resistance right here on the hourly, I would say I think I could leave this entry here. Maybe move it up just a few pennies. Let's make this an intraday trigger now. Based purely on the hourly. The hourly looks nice. You know, a move above 92.59 on Caterpillar, I think I would be more bullish than bearish. 87.81 would probably be the lowest that I would place the stop. The absolute tightest at this point that I would place it would be 90.38. And of course, you guys know I'd be a big fan of the bull put spread or put sale below that wick on Caterpillar. Bottom line, we've bounced off this support a few times before. We're trading sideways, more bullish than bearish. If we hopped over to stochastics, which I only use in channels and sideways moves, you can see that it's crossing up, which would indicate a little bit more bullish over bearish. Steven Steckler says, how much risk is it holding swing trades over Christmas break? Not much, in my opinion. Long as you risk your R, and if it does gap in some wild, crazy direction. But I personally, as I mentioned, Steven, I think we're going to continue higher until at least 2015, where we might get a little bit of selling pressure at the beginning of the year. And maybe the first week of January could be kind of bearish. Maybe all of January could be bearish. But I think this is a thrust higher that if we're in it, place your stops accordingly, and don't lose your shirt, just mitigate risk. And I mean, I'm holding trades over Christmas break, so we'll see. Arthur Pierce says, I'll be listening to the pre-market show tomorrow morning. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. Thanks for your support. And of course, as always, thank you so much for being real life traders. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And until then, remember, love life, live life, and trade it. I'll see you.